Hi guys, welcome to another podcast. Today we are at TISS campus with TISSians.
Yeah.
Okay, so they are 25-26 batch and इनके t-shirts भी दिख रहे हैं हमें. And today we'll be talking about HRM-LR program and complete insight about the HRM-LR program. Those who are targeting for TISS specific to HRM-LR program, this session will be very handy for you people. So watch it very carefully and share it to all your friends, all the upcoming year aspirant, those who are targeting for TISS, they should also be benefit from this video. So last year TISS accepted CUET PG score, and this year 2025 they come up with the CAT. Now these guys are lucky they crack CUET PG and now they are into the TISS. But for you people, CAT is there, so prepare hard for the CAT. Score 95 plus percentile, 99 plus percentile, and then there is an interview round. Rest of the things, selection process and everything, they will be talking about. Okay, so starting with the introduction part one by one. Okay, and yeah, in introduction part I want to know your name and last education from the college university, then how come TISS idea came to the picture, and lastly reason behind choosing TISS. 4 things. Yeah, so who is starting? Yeah, you are starting.
Yeah. So, hi, sir. I'm Divyanshu Singh, and I have done my undergraduate in commerce.
Okay.
From St. Xavier's College, Kolkata. And I was a pass out of 2023. Took a gap year. Understood what I had to do in my career. So I hail from a background of a very small town, a very small industrial town.
Okay.
With jute mills, with steel factories and all. So I grew up around these issues of like trade unions and issues of trade and strikes and walkouts. So I got very interested in HR issues and of IR industrial relations as well.
Okay.
So that formed the foundations of my own management journey as well. And the commerce, being a commerce graduate, you know how business works. You know what you need to do for a company as well.
Okay.
So that's where TISS came into picture. So when we talk about HR colleges, the top college in India is by far TISS. So that's where and this being here is a dream come true as well. So when this happened, I was very happy, and
so
it felt like,
he is a commerce graduate and he cracked CUET PG, got into the TISS. So if you are a commerce graduate, you can also get into the HRM program. It is not necessary there should be some HRM background should be there, or you should have done your academic in the HRM program. Yeah, starting with you.
So hi guys, I'm Dhruv Khashu. I'm primarily from Faridabad. I've done my BTech in computer science. Post that I took one gap year. I took it to study for all the entrance exams. Initially I only targeted the top tier 1 institutes, and throughout my journey, I think when I was doing my undergraduate, I was constantly part of many clubs and committees, and there I got the idea of managing people, and I really liked the concept of it. But I was in a complete different field of tech, so I think for me that was a realization that maybe I am better at managing people, maybe I am better at strategizing and solving people's problems. So I think that was the instinct I got, that I want to move to HR and I want to move to management fields. So that's when I realized that I want to study for CAT, and as soon as I graduated I gave my entrances and now I'm here.
But how only TISS? I want to go for TISS only.
I think for TISS specifically, it's obviously always the other institutes as well, because you don't want to restrict yourself, but TISS is something that everyone aspires to join, right? So when I got admission to TISS, it was a dream come true for me, because previously I was just targeting all what I can do. So but if I got TISS, then I think it was a dream for me.
Had it been XRI then?
I would have still chosen TISS easily.
Okay, so hi everyone, this is Praful Dwivedi. I hail from Lucknow. I am a lawyer. After going BA Economics and Political Science, I have done my LLB 3 years program. Post that, I undergo my civil services preparation, and alongside I prepare for TISS also. TISS is my first and only preference as far as MBA HR college in India is concerned. Apart from that, I applied for foreign universities, which I even cracked: Queen Mary University and Lancaster University. As far as TISS is concerned, I think the main USP which sets it apart from any other college is it's intermingled with many other courses. We have around 69 courses, and each provide a different perspective. While managing people, we need to be aware of not only their existing circumstances, but even their overall conditions also. TISS can play a very important role here. Why? Because I given you example, disaster management we have a course. So we undergo crisis management. So that can help you in undergoing conflict management in even your management areas. So this give me inspiration. And why TISS? Because right from after my intermediate, I have chosen this field that I want to be in social sciences, and every now and then.
Pretty much clear.
It was clear. So I have taken all the courses which belong to social science in one way or the other.
Okay.
So, and that's why TISS has been my first and only choice as far as management in HR is concerned.
Let me twist one question. You said you appeared for the UPSC.
Yeah.
Then
I have been preparing actually.
You were preparing. Okay. You haven't appeared any attempt?
No.
Okay. Because mainly HRM-LR program targeted by the UPSC aspirant as well. But now there is a problem. CAT is there. So why I'm saying CAT? Because obviously toughness of the CAT is obviously on the top. It is a toughest exam in management. Looking at the TISSnet, looking at the CUET PG, obviously lower side in terms of the difficulty level. Okay, yeah.
So I'm Sheetal.
Can you be a little louder?
Okay.
Sheetal.
So I'm Sheetal, and I'm also like Divyanshu from the commerce background. I've done my graduation
Commerce
from
background, guys. Commerce background, yeah.
Yeah, so I've done my graduation from SRCC.
SRCC you have done?
Yeah.
Okay.
So after
It is in Delhi, no?
Yeah, it's in Delhi. Delhi University.
Yeah.
Ka part hai.
Yeah.
So basically, in SRCC, just like Dhruv said, that he was in a lot of clubs and societies. So even I was in a lot of clubs and societies, and there I realized that I'm doing the core work of, I'm doing my core work, but at the same time, there's like a lot of HR activities that are involved. Like I'm calling it HR right now, but at that time I did not know it's exactly like related to HR. So then I researched about it and I got to know about TISS. So TISS has a lot of other social courses as well, and SRCC has that problem that it only has Eco Honors and BCom Honors. So I wanted some diversity. I wanted to communicate with other students as well. So that is why I chose this college and I chose HR.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yes. I remember about your 5-year work experience. So rest you mention, yeah.
Alright, so my name is Nitin Sharma and I'm the infamous mechanical engineer. Alright, so after my graduation from NIT Rourkela, then I worked for 5 years, I mean in different sectors, and then I decided that I have to go for masters, I mean for MBA course. Then two things were happening parallelly. I'll tell you why this TISS came into the picture. So while working, a few of our colleagues, we started a forum called JVika, and we started providing education to the girl children of the tribal area, Jharkhand.
Okay.
One of my friends was from Jharkhand.
Okay.
So we started that, and because we were not full of resources and all, so we could not reach out to the larger audiences.
Okay.
So that's when it clicked my mind that along with that, MBA was there in my mind that I'll be going for my MBA. But this thing kind of stuck with me that I need to do is for the larger audience, larger impact. And then when I understood that my MBA is finalized, then TISS came from this angle, and HR angle was coming from this angle. That's like when you understand the employee's journey, we may think that HR is for like rangoli banao, ye karo, wo karo.
I'm coming on it.
Yeah. I mean, it's not at all. It's a business role. You are playing a part of the business. So I was continuing my answer. So when you understand that whatever policies that you are making, you are becoming a part of their lives. So even if some recognition is there, so the families come to the programs when the organization organizes. So in a way, you are impacting their lives. So coming from impacting few girl children, now I would be impacting larger and larger audiences. So
Great,
that is how I have
big round of
entered
applause for him. Yeah, very nice work. Still that is ongoing.
Yes.
Great. What is the name of the firm you mentioned?
I mean, we have changed the name.
Okay.
I mean, we got to know that there is a Jivika program running under the Bihar government also.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice initiative.
So hello everyone, I'm Harsh Khasale, a first year student of HRM-LR TISS. I come from a small town of Yavatmal, which is also called as a cotton city, and I have done my bachelor's in chemistry from Ferguson College, Pune. Unlike Nitin, I'm a fresher. And one thing that I would like to tell about this is about the diversity. It's not just the commerce graduate or the engineers graduate, but we have lawyers, engineers, doctors, as well as science graduates. So that is something that really drawn me to the TISS compared to other B schools. Apart from that, during my college days, I was part of an NGO that worked for the specially abled students. There, I had an opportunity to work as a recruitment manager. So I had to recruit volunteers. The volunteers which we had back then created a kind of chaos, and then we had to recruit some new volunteers. So that particular instance was something that triggered me towards the HR, career lines.
Okay.
So that, then I started researching about what actually HR is all about and how people skills are important and how can I create a positive impact in the society through that. Talking particularly about TISS, as I'm a fresher compared to other B schools, I think TISS is something that will provide me with a good exposure to the industry through my fieldworks. So that is something because of which I chose TISS.
Nice, nice.
So hello everyone, my name is Arijit and I'm from a small town called Purnia from Bihar. So it is in Bihar and it is near the border of West Bengal. So I was born and brought up there. After that I have completed my graduation from Delhi University in mathematics. I have a BSc mathematics, and after that I took a drop of 2 years in which I was preparing for different B school examinations, and after that I was successfully chosen for this program, and I was really glad to clear CUET PG and then getting selected for the prestigious TISS HRM-LR program. So that is my story.
Reason behind choosing TISS?
So the reason was because everything that TISS provides, like it's not about the ROI only. ROI is definitely one of the things that was considered before taking this decision, but it was not the only decision, and like it was not the only reason that I chose TISS, because it offers a lot of other things. Like some of the reasons have been mentioned already. Like we've got fieldwork as the USP. We've got people coming from different backgrounds, social backgrounds, cultural backgrounds, educational backgrounds. So all those experiences shape you as an individual in a very sophisticated kind of way. You become a more sophisticated version of yourself. So those are all the things that were considered before taking this decision.
Nice. Okay. So all the viewers, all the upcoming year aspirants, those who think कि HRM में सिर्फ लड़कियाँ जाती है या रंगोली बनाती है या यही काम होता है, ऐसा बिल्कुल नहीं है. You can see the ratio, boys versus girl. What is the current ratio? 70 student. What is the approximate ratio?
17 girls.
17.
Yeah.
And 57.
Yeah.
47 or 57. 49 almost. So सिर्फ लड़कियाँ ही HR करती है, it is a myth. यहाँ पे क्लियर हो गया, right? So this podcast will be slightly longer. 1 घंटे के ऊपर जाएगा या maybe it will be more than 45 minutes. So आराम से you can have your snacks, you can have your tea and coffee, and कान में पप्पू लगा लो, and all the information which you are getting, jot it down, because this is very very valuable information which you are getting from them. So जिसको TISS आना है, नहीं भी आना है, वो भी आएगा, ठीक है? And there is a struggle, guys. It is not easy to get into the TISS. अभी ये बताएंगे क्या struggle था. Okay. So experience we have discussed, basic experience about the TISS, but you have started your study. You have started studying in TISS campus now. I think 4-5 months, 6 months हो गए, more than. Okay. So I want to understand that experience overall, campus से लेके lectures से लेकर के library and sports, mess के खाने कैसे हैं, etc. Yeah, who want to start?
Alright, so I'll go.
Okay.
See, I came up with this idea that okay, I am joining the best institute, and now my journey, would be standstill. My life is sorted now. As soon as you enter, you have, so many things started. We were having case com. There were many things happening parallelly, and you feel like, my goodness, I thought, life is settled now, and altogether so many things happens. I'm telling to all the aspirants, don't discourage by that process. You would love that process. Once that happened, it would be part of your life. So case com was happening. I mean, then there was other administrative work. Then coming to Mumbai, planning all those things. There were so many things were happening. Yeah, finding places to stay, food and all. Obviously, because to acclimatize, it takes some time.
Correct.
Yeah. So obviously I had certain names about the professors that okay, these are the professors and all.
Okay.
So our classes started, but this was a kind of turmoil. A lot of things were happening.
Okay.
Now, when you see the environment, the people that you see in the class, you come and in one of our class discussion, you would see various perspective, because TISS make sure that you have different background people, so that the discussion is concrete. You get various perspectives. That is one aspect. I'll tell you about my personal experience. So we always carry some of the biases about certain people and certain section of the people.
Okay.
When you come to TISS, you see the 50 different schools. One is diversity, one is inclusion, social work. And then when you go and interact with them, then you feel like, oh, your biases gets reduced. So on a personal level, it helps a lot to become a better person. So, and also
Nice.
academic rigor starts. Then we have classes, case discussion, and then here I got to understand there's different way of evaluating a candidate. Mostly it's about group assignments. You feel like group mein kya hoga? But when you understand the dynamics, they are preparing you for a larger good. Because when you would be entering into the workforce, as especially the HR part, I'm bringing the HR part here, you would be interacting with the people that you may not even have a better equation with. But somehow you have to come
You
out
have to
with
build that equation. Obviously.
build that equation.
Yeah.
So this part is very important. Obviously, I have gym. We have gym. So yeah, and the sports we have sports clubs also, and also the committees part. If people are interested in different committees because of their interest, they can join the various committees, like editorial committee, placement committee. It's like that. So this is my experiences till now,
Nice,
and
nice.
I'm enjoying this process a lot. Yeah.
Great. As you mentioned about the building that bonding and
Yeah.
creating that bonding,
Yeah.
that is not the problem. Problem is the process.
Yeah.
How you will build.
Yeah.
अब किसी के साथ अपनी जमती नहीं है. You are working in an organization, right? How you will build that bonding? उसका process जो journey है, that is important. That you are learning. You are the part of the committee. Committee में there is a possibility that you maybe like someone, maybe you will not like someone. है ना? कोई ups, or maybe you are not comfortable, right? So you have to make you and others comfortable. So that process is something like a painful. And वो अगर आपने कर लिया तो that is a another level of achievement. Yeah. Anyone else want to add on the same? Yes, lawyer sir, you want to add?
Yeah, definitely. So
So he is a lawyer, right? And then TISS. Right. So age is approximately 30 plus? Maybe
no,
30 plus.
I am 29.
20?
9.
Achha, 29. So yeah, ठीक है.
So my inclination in law basically involves two important areas. One is women and child law, and second is the labor laws. So labor laws basically trigger me to be a part of human resource management, especially TISS, because if you read the our course structure, it is and labor relations. So labor relations actually play a very important role in making me drive my journey towards TISS.
Okay.
Second thing which I learned basically here is the camaraderie. Not only among the people, but even among the schools also. Because I have many my friends apart from my batch, many friends across schools, and from there I have learned one or the other things, especially which I can inculcate in human resource management in different forms. Like a given example of disaster management. From there I've learned that, like in our, because since he has mentioned that we have various things going on, so from there I learned the crisis management.
Okay.
That even at the 11th hour, if you need to submit your assignments, how will you do it? And if you have many tasks pending, how you will allocate, to which extent you want your work to be done. You need to devote your time proportionality. So we have an example of law. We have a principle of proportionality. So we even apply it in human resource management and get the things done in the right manner, at the right time, and to the extent to which we want the things to be done.
Nice.
So I think that this is my best learning from human resource management. Not only I'll be able to apply my law principles here, but at the same time many other schools principles also, in one way or the other. Behavior aspects also, and even the learnings also, as far as life is concerned, because it teaches many things.
Okay. So during your law, when you are pursuing your law, 3 things which you have learned, you have applying now. Tell me those things.
One thing is logical analysis.
Okay.
Logic is super most important if you are a lawyer or if you are analyzing any problem. You
Okay.
need to have a logic.
Okay.
And that logic is also subjective. It depends from problem to problem. Like in law, we need to analyze the case. So for that, we need to go with the basics of that case.
Correct.
What is the behavior of that person? What is the background of that area? We need to start with that.
Okay.
Similarly, we in case studies also we need to have a logic. That how we need to solve the case.
Correct.
First is the logic. Second important thing is the principles that I have used in my law, like doctrine of territorial nexus. There is a principle in constitution.
Okay.
Territorial nexus actually means that even a particular ship is moving outside the territory of India,
Okay.
and if it bears the symbol of that country, it will be regarded as a part of that country, no
Okay.
matter where it moves.
Hmm.
So that I learned and apply here. Like we even we go anywhere, we are always a TISSian. And that plays a very important role and
Wonderful.
make us believe that no matter to which area we will always shine the values of system which we belong and which we have inculcated here. So that is doctrine of territorial nexus that I'll be apply here.
Those who are lawyer may be, correlating with you.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the third and most important thing is the bonds of friendship.
Hmm.
In law, we generally fight with each other, especially in the courts.
Obviously.
We have
courtroom.
different opinions.
Correct.
But in human resource management, we get to know that how you can mold two different opinions to get the task done.
Hmm.
So besides contradicting, we even undergo the culture of collaborating.
Okay.
So contradicting plus collaborating makes you a good HR person.
Wonderful. Nice. And how's the campus life? थोड़ा उसके बारे में बता दो सर.
Campus life it is amazing.
Okay.
It is not a hardcore B school.
Uh-huh.
You get many things, many experiences.
Uh-huh.
Even canteen is also very good. It is
Okay.
awesome. And one thing I will tell you about canteen that we have a DH menu which comes every week.
DH menu.
Yes. Dining hall menu.
Okay.
And in that dining hall menu, they have used different colors to indicate different calorie level of that particular food.
Calorie cautious people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Interesting,
Yeah. So this feature I like very much of the canteen in TISS.
This happen weekly or it is?
It happens weekly.
Weekly which day? आज है क्या?
Yeah, like Sunday is there. So on Monday they release the menu.
Okay.
It comes on your email account,
Okay. Okay.
and you get the entire picture that from Monday to Sunday what I'll be getting across 4 meals.
Okay. Okay.
So that thing, and there also we have various options. Like a person who want to eat paratha, he can eat. Otherwise, he has various diet options also, like cornflakes and any other things.
Okay.
So that is you get witness in that place many things.
Okay.
And that you can define through calorie values if you are conscious. You can choose.
Okay.
Can someone please mention Nagori?
That's after when they make it to TISS.
What is that?
So it's a secret only TISS people know. So one of
Okay.
our favorite spots outside.
Okay. 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 So, preparation strategy for the entrance examination, CUT was there. Before that, TISSnet was there. TISSnet, they have cancelled. They come up with the CUT PG, and now there is a CAT. Okay. क्या लगता है बच गए? CAT से बच गए ऐसा लग रहा है कि I mean you people are lucky. Do you think so? CUT PG था.
Sir, lucky to be in TISS. Yes. That's for sure. I mean, because sir, when I was coming to TISS and I was thinking about the same, about the exam and new for, I thought about how old this program is. This was PMIR first since the 1960s. Then it changed to HRM-LR in the early 2000s. Sir, that one thing stuck in my mind, that TISS has always found its people.
Okay.
Was it in the 1960s, in the 1970s, 80s, 90s? Sir, जिसको TISS आना होता है, they always make it to there. So the argument of fate, that we were brought here by fate to our own hard work, always remained. So I do believe that CUET was a very different exam than CAT, and it will require a different set of skills. But sir, it was an aptitude exam, so we had to score. It might have been a high scoring exam, but I like to believe that it was a great equalizing exam because it was a high scoring one.
Correct.
And the best part about the exam was, and it shows about the values of TISS as well, sir, I scored right above the cutoff. So एक question हिलता तो मैं यहाँ पे भी बैठा नहीं रहता. But being just above the cutoff, and I'm sitting here, so my interview and my GD really made the difference. So it was not just the aptitude exam, just doing well in the CUET exam that made the difference of being here.
Obviously.
You have to do well at each step. So cut-off score होने के बाद भी, if I'm sitting here, I think that is a testament of what TISS wants with people. That you need to be solid as well. You don't have to be just AIR1 to make it to TISS.
Nice, obviously. Great answer, yeah. Yes. Anyone else? Yeah, I want answer from you, yeah.
So earlier they used to take TISSnet, and now they have we came from CUT and now they are going for CAT. There's a lot of transition, but what I see, one thing is the people are like, we are diverse, but we mingle around. It's not like TISSnet ke people are, they are different, we are different. I just don't see the difference. It was all about as Divanshu mentioned, the GDPI. If you have that in you, you show that yourself in the interview, your originality, your honesty, you will be here. You will be with them, right? So it actually does not make a difference. Other than that, if talking about TISS, I wanted to add one point. TISS is a platform that makes you identify yourself or discover yourself. So like, I'm into spirituality, and I thought what spirituality would come into picture here, right? But they have mental health courses. They have a lot of meditation events happening around. So I can be always a part of that and explore my hobbies.
Okay.
At the same time, I'm also interested in editing and videography. So I make sure that whenever in anything like video or editing comes up, I enroll my name into that.
Nice.
So my hobbies are taken care of by TISS.
Wow.
That is something I'm able to exploit and discover more about myself.
ये वीडियो आपसे एडिट कराएंगे, don't worry.
So yeah, that's it.
Nice. Last year, I think in the month of October or November, they come up with another notification that CAT, they will be accepting the CAT. Yes, remember?
Yes.
और then we started getting the comments, mail sir अभी क्या करेंगे? तो what was your situation? Anyone want to comment on it?
So
सबसे ज़्यादा panic
Yeah, I went into panic.
कि all of a sudden CAT was almost, I think it was done. They closed their registration process, and all of a sudden TISS announced that they will be accepting CAT. Then we also mailed to the TISS and many students mailed to the TISS, and then changes happened although. But yeah, situation क्या थी?
So when this happened, I was in my final year of my college, of final semester. I had my internals going on, and I had only decided 3 months prior to CAT that I'll give CAT without any coaching, without any like proper preparation. I'll just feel the exam out, and then next year if I have to, I will. But in my head, I wanted to give TISS, so I was like, TISSnet hoga.
Okay.
And then they're like, nahi hoga, CAT hoga. And I'm like, I didn't prepare anything. How will I manage this with my exams, with everything? So I went into a panic mode. I was like, okay, now it's too late to even maybe join a coaching or something. It's just like months. So I started frantically giving mock exams and things like that. But then they told us that it will be CUET, so I calmed down a little. But it was like a very panic situation. I was just thankful at the moment कि at least भर दिया था form. I did not think कि अगले साल ही I will.
Okay.
I decided to feel out this. It was like that for me.
We are lucky. Okay. Adding to the another question, you want to add on?
No, you can ask.
Okay. I wanted to understand your GD and PI experience. This year there is no GD.
Yes.
For all the HRM-LR who are targeting, there is no GD. Go to the TISS official website and check complete process. It is given there. What percentage breakup wise in terms of the diversity, in terms of the academic, in terms of your interview, in terms of your CAT score. Okay. So GD last year, it was very I would say crucial, very competitive. How was your experience? Anyone want to share GD experience? Although this year there is no GD, but what is check basically? Just to add, yeah.
Right. Sir, my GD experience. So first of all, I was very nervous because it was a online GD.
That is normal.
Yeah. So the thing was, because it was an online GD and with TISS, the stakes were really high. So technical issues of voice cracking. Because multiple people enter at the same time when you're online. You don't get social cues. Like if I want to answer something, you get social cues from people. You can't get that when you're online. So there was aspects apart from my preparation as well, which I was concerned about. But once I heard the topic, so the topic was related about employee engagement, how can you make sure that the older employees and younger employees are better working in a retail chain of all places. So again, a very interesting topic. Our evaluators were the professors themselves who were evaluating us in the GD. So it began as a 22-minute GD with 3 minutes to prepare, and we had a very civil discussion about it. There were points, counterpoints coming up, but I think the spirit of TISS really shone through it, because I did not hear a lot of fish market going on. People were very civil about it. We had severe discussions about disagreements. Why do we need to do this? Who will fund the training costs? Who will do the employee engagement? We had a lot of discussion over a lot of things. We even did not have a final problem ka solution. कि ये करना चाहिए.
Okay.
But the discussion throughout that we had was very civil, was very cool-minded. People wanted to hear each other out.
So in your session, I think people were very civilized.
Yeah, I was very lucky, and even
because I heard many, I got a many feedback. It
Yeah.
was a fish market completely,
Yeah.
and it was very difficult to speak. You have to literally snatch your turn
Yes,
to
sir.
speak out.
Yes, sir. I think that happened when we had to conclude. So we got 1 minute to conclude, and people were talking about. So I had to stop people. कि like, we just have a minute. Let me conclude. And I think that worked in my favor as well. When you get to conclude a GD, I think it plays with the evaluator's mind as well. So I think that's a tip for future GDs if people take it.
So don't worry, this year there is no GD. But yeah, anyone want to add?
All right. So my case was totally opposite to his. As he said, kind of fish market. I mean, I can't say it's a fish market because everyone is competitive and you are being evaluated. So you want to show your best, and everyone tries to, start the introduction of the topic. You want to start the GD. But I would like to break this myth that it's not necessary that you would always get the brownie point for the introduction or to start a GD. You have to structure your thought. If you have something to say concrete, then you start. I'll take my example. The case was a bit complex about merger and acquisition. Now, the thing is, I could have gone like blabbering something, but I waited because this is something new to me, merger and acquisition. So I heard two or three people starting the GD or stopping. They putting the points. Now I gathered my thought. Then I found out the places. I mean, this is what I'm trying to understand. If not TISS, whenever you are going for appearing for GDs, if you think that points is valid, just wait for the person to stop, and that seconds, that is a fraction of seconds. You just enter, you put your entry. As soon as he's about to finish, you be ready, and then you start speaking. That is how you can enter into it in this fish market kind of scenarios. And also, I was not the person who started or concluded, so I just put up 3 points. I too was nervous that I just had 2 entries and I gave very brief answers. So don't worry, if you have a valid and quality points, so you would be evaluated accordingly, and TISS made sure that I was evaluated accordingly. So thanks to the evaluators.
Nice.
So as I discussed with my friends about the GD, what was all about. So most of the topics were HR centric. They just wanted to know that what exactly like our common sense is around the HR topics and how will we proceed further with that particular case. My case was around change management, like how we would stepwise implement the technology into the factory. So it was a fish market. We had 20 minutes. There was a lot of chaos. Everybody was rushing in to put their points, and at the 16 minutes people ran out of points. So somebody came in and concluded the GD at 16th minute. And that was the point. I went into panic that we haven't even concluded the GD clearly, so I'm not getting into TISS. But I think that is not something that they look for as a group. But how do you cover it up? So the professor, the evaluator told us that we have concluded the GD, but then within a minute, we started speaking again, and we utilized those 4 minutes, and we bring in labor laws and whatnot, all the different topics in, and we made sure that we are utilizing those 20 minutes. So it is a very random process, it is a very chaotic process, but in that, when you find structured thoughts and deliver it properly, I think that is what they're looking for.
Nice. So anyone want to explain this year complete selection process? Monologue. HRM-LR this year, there is a different selection process. Very first, everyone must know there is a CAT score they are accepting for HRM-LR, ODCL, and MHA 3 programs. And flagship course is obviously HRM-LR. So yeah, explain the complete.
So yeah, this year the complete process is different. 95% weightage and 5% weightage for gender diversity will 95% weightage to CAT and 5% to gender diversity will be given for the initial shortlisting. After the shortlisting, what the composite scores will be developed by 70% CAT scores, 20% your PI scores, and 10% your graduation marks. Now, since graduation marks can vary from medical to engineering, there will be separate slabs for it so that you're evaluated accordingly. So there is no GD this year, there is only PI.
Okay, so you people are more lucky now.
Yeah.
Except you have to perform well in the CAT. Okay,
Yeah.
so approximately what do you think? What percentile cutoff will go for the CAT this year? Approximately.
I think since this is our first time and since this is first time CAT is taking TISS is taking CAT, we do not know exactly what
95,
the
98, 97?
I mean, that's all to assume, but if you have a good percentile, I would say you should apply. Because you never know, CAT is an unpredictable exam. Sometimes you can do well in your PIs, and if you get the call, you should surely be ready for the PI process. But I would suggest everyone to just apply, because even I was barely making the cutoff like him. So you should just apply and place your bets on whatever you can find, because at a time that you are desperate for something, you may find a light in something else. So you can always apply and see.
Registration process still on, no? Or it is?
Yeah, it is still on. It is till 15th December.
Very important question. TISS में HRM-LR प्रोग्राम करना है, so background होना चाहिए, work experience होना चाहिए, और internship हुआ है तो that is another cherry on a cake you can say. सबसे पहले academic background अगर नहीं है HR में, so I mean we have a evident you people like commerce background, then there is an engineer, there is a lawyer, so that is not the case. Irrespective of any academic background you have, you can apply for the TISS. Work experience को लेके there is a all time people have a dilemma, have this doubt कि I am a fresher. We can see there are fresher. How many are fresher? 1, 2, 3. Everyone is a fresher except you. So work experience कितना overall selection में, although there is a weightage, do they check? There is no weightage, but they must see all this thing, or how it is? What do you think? They see this?
I think there is no clear perception or any point given for work experience. I think it is completely neutral for everyone. But since you have work experience, you may have questions on it. So you may have a cross questioning on it in your PI. It can help you in your PI to some extent. But if you are a fresher, if you're confident that you have done enough in your undergraduate, you can always do the questions that they're going to ask you on that. Like for example, in my personal interview, it was completely tech related, like because I did not have a relevant experience per se. So my whole interview revolved around my tech experience and how I did my cloud engineering and what I did my certifications in. So it revolves around whatever your background is. So there is no need of any work experience.
So before you applying for the TISS, have you thought of यार मेरा तो background engineering है, I don't have a background, I don't have work experience, like every aspirant, those who are watching this video, they cribble for this. मेरा background नहीं है, I don't have any internship and I don't have a work experience. मेरा होगा कैसे TISS में? How I'll get into the TISS?
See, as far as my experience is concerned, in TISS we actually search for original you. What is your originality? The journey that you have come across and reached TISS, that is actually checked. How meritoriously you have undergone your journey, that is checked. Whether you have done your graduation in any field, whether you have work experience or not, we are just checking that whether you are portraying what you are and whether you imbibe those qualities which you are portraying.
So if you are bluffing, then your panel will not select you.
Yes. That's why.
And they will get to know this, huh?
Yeah, definitely. I'll tell you, since my law background, my interview revolves around 95% on labor laws. around 95%. And they have even asked most of the entry cases of the labor law, especially like maternity benefit. Since recent amendment from 12 to 26 weeks it has become. So they have asked even the cases also which involved where the maternity benefit was denied to such an extent. Just because my recent qualification was LLB. So they are also checking that whatever you have perceived in your life, have you perceived it with your clear senses, or you have arrived just in a rat race? So that is, I think, in TISS, especially in TISS, what I witnessed this, that they are checking not only yourself, but even what you are portraying. Even I will say in one word, your honesty. How honest you are.
Be you.
I would like to add one point on this. I think this is very, very well said. Just one last point I would just say is that it does not matter that you have internships or work experience. I know people, I know friends who do not have work experience or internships as well. But if they're passionate about that one little thing also, you can also lead your interview on that. You really have to have a purpose that can define your interview or define you as a person. So you really need not have multiple internships or multiple years of work experience as other people might have, but you want to find your one thing, one passion, that as you can say, and you can play on that as well. But you really have to show the honest passion that you will have. I think that can play a big part. I think it did for me as well, and I think for everyone else as well.
Want to add some?
Yeah, I just want to add a small point. So those who are watching, the aspirants, you can see the majority of the class are freshers. So cheers to that. Good
Want
news
to
for you
understand the
guys.
ratio,
I
approximate
mean,
ratio.
it's
Yeah, it's 50% plus freshers.
yeah, it's more than 50
So
plus
less than
plus.
1%,
Yeah,
50%, yeah.
true.
Means
Just wanted to add.
20 or 21-year-old will get into the TISS. 2 साल pass out. 23 के age में you will be getting 25 lakhs का package.
Yeah, two of us walked in TISS when we were 21. So,
Huh?
yeah.
They are the one.
yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah. I
How-
turned 22 here.
Acha. So what kind of a work? You were adding something.
No, I just added
Okay,
this.
yeah. So what kind of work? It was internship.
Nothing.
It was full-time work.
So there was no work experience. Like I told you, right? When the this is taking CAT wala thing happened, I was in my final year exam. So,
Okay.
And I'll turn 21 next year. 22 next year. So
Okay.
So yeah, I mean they do take freshers. It's not like that. And if I did one internship before coming to TISS. It was like a 2-month thing. It was not, but my interview was not revolving around that 2-month internship. It was revolving around commerce, about me. So you have to be honest, and there were a lot of instances where I told that when I told the interviews that I don't know the answer of that question. There were a few technical commerce questions, and I did not know those answers.
Okay.
I told that to them honestly. So there is no point in bluffing.
You need to be very, very honest.
Yeah.
Be yourself, जो आप हो.
Yeah.
And don't bluff. Otherwise, panelists will judge you, and they will throw you out.
Yeah, so age is not, being a fresher is not a disadvantage.
Okay.
Basically.
So ये चीज़ clear हो गई. I mean, this is clear. Like if you don't have a work experience, prepare well for your entrance and give your best in the interview. That's all. I think. फिर उसके बाद there is a luck.
Yeah.
Coming to the interview experience, how was your interview experience? You remember it was pathetic. It was like you were not expecting यार ऐसे भी question आएंगे, or you obviously everyone gets nervous in the interview, right? So how was your experience? I want to know each and every one experience. After giving interview of TISS, लगा था कि मेरा selection होगा? कि I mean, how many of you sure कि मेरा होगा selection? 1 and 2.
It was
50-50. I remember my IIM Lucknow interview. Pretty much sure होगा ही नहीं. But I got shortlisted. So it is. I mean, वो अंदर से आ जाता है ना, नहीं होगा. फिर आया जब and when we saw the result, क्या लगा फिर? मतलब धक धक हुआ कि भाई क्या फीलिंग थी?
So when TISS का result was announced, I had high fever and I was lying on the bed, and my father checked the result and he started like, he was very happy. I could see it on his face, and he was like,
You don't wanted to check your result. फिर पापा मेरा तो हुआ
I
नहीं.
had fever, so I was sleeping. I wasn't in the condition to even look at my phone. I was running on high fever since days. So my father was really happy. He got excited. He was like, you got into TISS, and in like in that high fever, in that haze, I was like, what? Pura, like I was like that. And then obviously we were very happy, and the other day we had to go to a wedding, so did not have a lot of time to process it. But it was definitely a moment I will remember. Yeah.
So, see, as I have work experience, there are many things that were happening parallelly. It may be happening with the aspirants also. There would be setbacks. You are not getting good score in mock. There is a sense of failure is also there. So all this happens. So my life is also on the similar lines. There were many setbacks I have seen, and then when I gave my exams, gave my GD, gave my PI. In PI, I never thought they would ask the core HR questions also. I mean, I did prepare for a few things. And I'll tell you one more instances. So I was interested in bit in psychology. I'll tell you why I'm bringing this topic. So I started a course of understanding the people. There's a course I was following just for my interest. And in that they use one theory that is being used in HR actually. So they asked me, do you know any observation behavior theory? And then I brought that, and they were asking me that, tell me exactly how would you apply it. So you understand the events in your life that makes sense. And then I remember my results came. I was going to the Jaipur. I was in the train, and I got to know that, oh, the results are published. And I was like, shrinking, and because as I said, there's a lot of failures. And then when you see your name, first I scroll down. I mean, initially my name was at the bottom. I was like, yaar, nahi hua ka. And then I finally saw my name. I could not believe. And then I shared with my people. Yaar, ek baar check kariyo bhai. Aaya hai, mera nahi aaya, dekhiyo.
Let me check surname is sahi hai ki nahi hai.
Roll number I checked, multiple times. And then I shared with the people, those who are with me throughout the journey. So that moment kind of freezed. And it was a very special moment for me.
This year, in fact, TISS released the entire, list. Ideally, they don't do.
Yeah.
But I mean, last year they released a complete list. इतने लोग का selection हुआ है with the name and everything. So I think let's see, CAT में भी शायद they will do the same thing. Yeah. Anyone else? Experience?
So my experience basically revolves that as far as interviews concerned, it is on expected lines because I very well knew, because since my last education was law, and since labor law has a connection with this course, so I get some or the other insight that it will be asking relating to that. And it was on expected lines. About 95 questions were related to law only, especially labor laws.
Okay.
And many of questions involve to such intricacies that which people don't know. Like in POSH, I give you example. POSH, many people know about ICC, but not everyone know about LCC.
Okay.
So the professor, he was actually very good professor, and he actually asked me this question: that suppose a domestic worker undergoes POSH.
Domestic
Worker.
Okay.
Undergoes POSH.
Okay.
Since there is no ICC, how she should resolve? So the answer will be LCC, that is Local Complaint Committee.
Okay. Nice.
So it's through such.
Those who are lawyer, mainly they must be connecting with you.
Yeah. So it was actually grilling. It was grilling. Most of the questions they not giving time, and they were asking you promptly, and many a times even pressurizing you to deviate from your answers. That was also there, because they are just checking whether you are first of all you are honest, and you're confident whatever you have studied. So they are checking these things. They are many a times they were asking certain questions which are revolving around the same answer.
Okay.
So this sort of structure also gets.
It is just verifying.
Yeah.
Kind of.
So this happens in my interview. So I think in this I will give you one tip only: know your subject well, and be confident on it.
Okay.
Then if any question comes in your way, you will be able to.
When you say subject well, that means obviously graduation.
Whatever background
last academic year or the graduation you have done, you should have a thorough knowledge. They can ask questions from there.
Definitely.
Okay. They must ask questions from the DAF also, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's one by one start with the interview experience. Yeah. Starting with you only.
Yeah. So I'm glad you brought the DAF up, sir, because I think whatever we like about our own profiles, we try to project it on the DAF. So that's where we want the interview to go in. So even for me, as my personal experience, we had Professor Hariharan, who is a visiting faculty and was a student here as well. We had Professor Lutufi, who is the teacher of OB. He taught us OB in the first semester. So we had people who would see right through any of us if any of us tried to do anything else rather than say the truth, because they have industry experience, they have experience of being consultants to other companies as well, from an HR perspective.
Okay.
So for my DAF, I focused on the one thing I'm very proud of, and that is my background, being from wherever I am, doing the things that I did. There's a certain thing about gap years that people try to justify. I've always said that my gap year was the best decision I ever took.
Okay.
Because I think the most personal growth that I had, that I had time to think up for myself, that what I want, that it was a time away from friends, away from college, away from undergraduate, but it was an important time. So when this question came up in my interview, I was very happy to answer it.
Okay.
Because your sincerity shows through your own answers, that this is not an excuse that I'm making for myself, rather than if I had not taken this gap year, I would probably not be in this interview at all. So that's what happened. So I was getting a lot of pushback on every answer that I gave, because they wanted to check whether you actually believe in those things. So if I brought my background up, a lot of things were questioned. If I brought my undergraduate subjects up, I got a lot of pushback. And that was all grilling, but very good natured. Always had a smile on their face, but always wanted to question you about whether are you actually confident about it at all. So
I want to add, those who have a doubt, gap year is negative or positive. I mean you are the best example. You are explaining everything. So he explained his gap year very on a smiley face and genuine answer. जो हुआ है वो हुआ है. That's all.
Yes, sir. Answer, it's still on the lower end of the scale. We have people with UPSC 5-year gap after 5 attempts, and then them making into TISS, and them being very, very level-headed about it. They believe their experience in UPSC gave them that perspective that an administrator has, which they can use as an HR professional.
Correct.
So, I mean, it's not a justification that you have to make for your gap years. It's always what you did and how it helps you right now.
Correct.
I think that's my personal interview experience.
I think those who have a gap year, ये clip मैं cut करके बता दूंगा भाई, देख लेना, बहुत सारे doubt आते हैं. हाँ.
Yeah, I think I have the same gap year. So people who actually know their worth will actually find their worth. So you don't have to worry about your gap year at all. Moving on to my PI experience, it was very structured, and this is a structure that you can prepare for your PI as well. My first topic was my technical background. The first cross questionings that they were asking on me was technical background. They were getting to know me on my technical skills, on what I did in my past. Then it moved on to GK questions. Basic GK questions, not very complicated, but yeah, it is another aspect that you have to target for your PIs. Thirdly, it moved on to HR related questions. Like for me, Lutuvi sir again was taking the interview, and he asked me on OB concepts and motivation theories. So you really have to be thorough with your preparation also, because during this time I was actually thorough with whatever I've read, and I was reading it since 2 or 3 months. So I read it multiple times, so it came out naturally for me. And I think the fourth thing that was very unique were the abstract questions. Since I am from a technical background, there were very abstract questions, like what is beauty to you? This was a question that was asked, and I was perplexed.
Everyone want to know that.
Yeah. I was perplexed that how should I answer it. So you really have to structure your answers in a way that what is truly honest to you and what is beauty to you. Like for me example, I answered it in a way that you can look at from a subjective angle and an objective angle. From an objective angle, some people can find beauty in particular things, and some people can find beauty in subjective things, in anything. So you really have to know your answer, whether you want to take the poetic step, like you want to answer it subjective.
People are waiting your answer.
Yeah, I answered it this way only.
Achha.
Like you can answer it in a subjective way, I answered it in both way. Like you can look at the perspective from two different tangents, objective and subjective. Some people find beauty objectively, some people find beauty subjectively. This was my verbatim answer, by the way.
Nice.
And so yeah, I described what beauty is to me subjectively in anything that you can find in poetic ways also, and some poetic lines I remembered during that interview time. I was lucky then, I think. So I quoted that. So yeah, I mean the interview is very subjective also. You cannot expect some questions that may come up. But honestly, the three things that you can really structure and prepare well are your HR, GK and your technical backgrounds.
What was your poetic line? Can you add?
I don't remember exactly, but it was majorly related to finding beauty in the smallest things. I don't remember the line exactly, But
Okay.
I was reading something during that time and I quoted it, and I was like,
Okay.
it was a perfect moment for me.
Yeah, adding to them, all the things you need to be taken care of, your background, your education, you from the place where you hail. But at the same time, even the corporate certain terms also you should know. Like in my case, they have asked about moonlighting. What is moonlighting?
Okay.
So, like these terms, you need to get abridged because you need to know about your domain. But at the same time, for the course for which you are applying, what actually I used to follow People Matters. It's a website for human resources.
Okay.
So you need to follow such websites and such magazines in order to get accompanied with and even accustomed with those terminologies, because if it comes, they basically need to check one thing, that how you are aware not only about your domain but even for the course which you are applying, whether you are really interested in or not.
Okay.
So this one thing I will point out. And second thing, one question also regarding my diversity, because before this I have 5 subjects. My graduation involves 3: economics, political science and history. One short masters I have done, it was sociology, and now law, and now HR. So they just try to know that how this diversity you will be able to bring this in your this subject in your organization.
Okay.
They are actually trying to evolve this through my characteristics,
Okay.
so that you need to prove.
So whatever you have filled in your DAF question, they must have asked question from there, right?
Yeah.
And apart from the DAF, do you think extra thing one should prepare for the HRM-LR program specifically?
That especially the HR terminologies.
Okay.
And what currently in HR trends going on, like
Okay.
People Matters I have told, such websites and many magazines which involve HR current trends.
Okay.
Like since now HR is no longer a management area, it has moving to strategic part. So strategic HR is the part of at present. So you need to know everything about strategic HR.
How long your interview was?
Actually, it is grilling, but in the positive sense. They try to make you confident about your answers.
Okay.
How long actually you are asking?
Yes.
Around
30 minutes.
35 minutes. of course.
35 minutes
Yeah,
interview.
Yeah, because I am just telling ki, to which extent they go, and they actually want sometimes they want specific answers
Okay.
to the questions.
So was there any situational based question?
Yeah.
Take it.
Yeah, one thing that I already told, that if a particular domestic worker undergo sexual harassment,
That was there. Okay.
then how should she approach and whom she approach? Such conditional answers, such conditional questions were also asked, and they even want your answers to be to the point. Like in this answer, you can't beat around the bush and say that she will complain here, she will file FIR. No. They were looking for LCC term there, local complaints committee, which is formulated by district magistrate in an area.
So you should study all these things before you come for this program.
Yeah.
All the aspirants, those who are targeting for TISS HRM-LR, this is kind of a brain they are looking for. Okay. So if you have that brain, come TISS. Yeah.
I had a very different experience from Praful. Like my interview was very well-rounded. Everything was asked, like a little bit of current affairs they were asking, a little bit of HR terminology, then a lot of commerce-based questions because that's my background, and a lot of situational questions also. So my interview was taken by Zubin sir. He is a very well-known professor in the college. So if when you come here, you'll know about him the first day. So he took my interview, and so he asked me so many situational questions, and at every answer that I would give, he would cross-question me and confuse me. So even till this, even if I was explaining my experience just after the interview, I don't remember anything he asked me because that's how confused I was during that time. He cross-questioned me a lot. I still remember it. So Zubin sir took my interview like that. Then Lutfi sir Lutfi sir took mine as well. So he was more focused on commerce related terms and terminologies, and then there was this another professor who was more focused on like GK, general affairs, and like
Number of member in the interview?
three panel members. For at least last year it was like that. So this was my experience, and it's not like if you don't know an answer or if you don't give them that specific answer, you'll be out of the process or something. If you don't know the answer and you say that I don't know this, I'm sorry, like I don't know this, or I didn't read up about it or whatever, if you just convey it to them clearly कि ये नहीं आता, तो that is what I think. More than a particular answer, they're looking for a candidate who knows themselves. Like read up about HR terminologies, read up a bit about labor laws, know your background, read up about if like whatever graduation you did, read up about all of that, but know yourself, know that this is what I know, this is what I don't know, this is who I am, and own it. It's okay. Matlab, if you don't know anything, just say that I don't know.
How long your interview went?
Mine was also around like the same time,
30-35 minutes.
Yeah,
Everyone 30-35 minutes?
yeah.
Nice. Obviously it will take 30-35 minutes. 1:10 का ratio है, right? So to get the good brain, to select good brain, they need
But
time.
for me, like the thing went other way. I was the last person to be interviewed by that panel on that day.
ऐसा सिचुएशन आता तो क्लियर होता है हमारा नहीं होगा.
Yeah, I had
Was
that
it-
pressure.
Okay.
And as soon as I went into the room, the first thing I said was, I assume that I'm the last candidate, and probably that might impact the process. And
Okay.
then they laughed, and I think that was the icebreaker.
Nice start.
So that happened.
Okay. Yeah, finish your experience.
Okay, so as soon as I came out of the exam hall after the CUET, I was pretty sure that I'm going to get a PI call. So I started preparing for my PI. 5 factors that I basically look after were: first of all, know yourself, how you are going to introduce yourself, your 10th, 12th graduation, everything, your hobbies, interests, passion. Second is HR related topics, that is organizational behavior he talked about, labor laws he talked about. Apart from that, the third is knowing TISS. We haven't talked about it yet, but I think when you're preparing for the interview, make sure that you have gone through the website A to Z. You're going through the HRM-LR program, all the material that is provided, and you know about the fieldwork, that is the USP of the TISS. They would ask about it. Other than that, fourth thing that I think is about your background. So your graduation, whatever you did in your graduation, that is also very important. So make sure that you have brush up on that part as well. And fifth thing is about the current affairs or the GK part. The questions that were asked were around, and luckily this was how I prepared, like in 5 slots, these 5 factors. And in the interview, I was asked in all these 5 factors. And the question that was asked for, what about myself? So why HR? Why would you like to go for HR? In TISS, they asked me, do you follow any CHROs? And I was very clear about that answer, that I'm not just giving the CHROs, but someone who is an alum of TISS, who is a CHRO, where he's working and what they're doing.
Okay.
Apart from that, Praful also talked about the People's Magazine. So make sure that while you're preparing for the interview, you're also going through the HR magazines as well. So that was something that particular TISS I was preparing for. So A to Z, make sure that you're knowing about TISS. Not just your course, but the other courses also. Because they asked me, is this the only course that you applied for? Or is there any other courses you applied for? And what are the other courses that TISS provides?
So you applied for only HRM-LR or?
Yes, I only applied for HRM-LR, and luckily
Okay. Anyone applied for LSP also? LSP? You must have applied for LSP, no? Okay. So only HRM-LR. हुआ तो हुआ, नहीं तो out.
Yes, sir.
सही है. This is called one goal, no option. Yeah.
Right. So they might go into that specific as well. So make sure that whenever you're preparing, these 5 factors keep in mind and prepare comprehensively as much as you can.
Okay.
That's what I would
Great. Nice. Yes.
They have not left much to speak now. They've already covered most of it.
Be genuine. Be yourself.
Yeah. So DAF was something which was concerning for me, because being from work experience, you have certain notion that there would be certain biases. Like if I have applied for other campuses, there could have been biases in terms of the number of work experiences. But to structure that journey, and honesty was key factor that kind of worked for me, I guess, in my DAF. That was very important. Initially I thought I'll fabricate this answer, that answer, kya pata chalega, thoda rehearse kar lunga. Then I dropped that plan and tore that paper up, and then I realized, okay, I have to be honest.
Listen, this rehearse कर लूँगा मैं थोड़ा. Rehearsal से कुछ नहीं होगा. अरे 20-25 साल का जितना भी जिया है, you can't change it in 2 months or 1 month. Correct.
That's true. So DAF I prepared honestly, and I thoroughly everything. So I was asked question in my DAF that why this journey, why that, why TISS, why HRM. These are standards how you ought to prepare. Even if they are not asking question, it doesn't mean you should not prepare. And along with that, as they have mentioned, so what I would like to tell different from the others is, whatever you are doing, do it, with something somberness, seriousness. So even if you are following sports, follow sports. So you should know the sports. So when you brought that answer, no one will tell you that okay, one more aspect I want to bring in here. So whatever you read, suppose you read some theories about organization behavior. No one would, if they are not asking you separately, tell me this theory, that theory, bring that, sprinkle that in your answers. So I read, sir, these, so that you want them to ask these questions. So I did that, and the kind of work they asked question related to that theories, and I answered. So that's how it went. Along with that, one of, Sheetal mentioned about the honesty part. One of the question that was asked, and I simply said, sorry, I do not know. Be honest, in terms of even not knowing. Knowing and not knowing, both are important. So this is how my interview was.
Your answer, creating answer of your choice.
Yeah.
That is what you have done. मतलब पैनलिस्ट को वो बोल दो यही पूछना है आपको, मैं बताऊंगा क्या पूछना है.
नहीं, it happens.
But it should be there in your answer.
Yeah.
That is the smartness, obviously. Yeah,
you need to bring in that aspect, because you have prepared enough. They don't know what you have prepared, so you have to bring in your introduction also. This is how I have, it one line you can add it, so they would catch it. Okay, they get something. Oh, this is something new, and I can ask questions on. So that helps.
One common question I want to add: OPI, online personal interview. It is there. What technical glitches or the issues can come across? Let's say you pass, there's an interview schedule and there's a queue, right? So anyone who gone through any kind of a technical glitches कि मेरे 1 घंटे 2 घंटे वेट लिस्टिंग है मेरी, ये चीज़ एक्चुअली बहुत रेयरली एस्पिरेंट को पता है. आई वांट इस पे कुछ बात हो जाए. या बिकॉज आपको नहीं पता कब आपका नंबर आएगा. टेक्निकल ग्लिचेस. And there should be a proper internet connection and etc. I want to add that. Yeah.
So I did not have a technical glitch, but there was this one preparation that my father took the initiative of doing, and at that time I was like, "Kya kar rahe ho?" But now that I think of it, is like it was important. So so you need Wi-Fi connection for an online personal interview, right? So I lived in Noida at that time, and light can go there at any time. So what he did was he got this battery backup sort of a thing for the
Mumbai छोड़ के हर जगह लाइट का इशू है.
Yeah, so battery backup kind of a thing. So even if the light goes, so I'm prepared. So that kind of keeps you at ease. And Harsh spoke about how his interview was the last one. So my interview was in the morning slot, and I was the second person to give my interview. But it could have happened that I had to wait for hours and hours, and then I'm getting a chance to get the interview.
थोड़ा एक step पीछे. Tell me the process. Let's say you log in, you get a time.
Yeah.
This is that slot, not 12 to 2 के बीच में you get your round. So you will log in by 12.
Yeah, I mean it's good to be log in, trying to sitting in front of your laptop 15 minutes earlier, staring at your laptop, so that you make sure you're on time. So you should always take a lot of buffer time, especially for important things, for things that you're prioritizing at the moment.
Okay.
So that is one thing that I think was obvious, but okay, take a lot of buffer time before you do anything, and also because it's a government site kind of, so the website crashes a lot. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll add, what this process is. You will talk about this.
Because technical glitches issue बहुत आते हैं. I mean, student called me after the interview, sir, मेरा ऐसा हो गया, अभी मैं क्या करूँ? They get panic. I want, if you crack cat and you are sure that मेरा cat crack होगा, तो ये technical glitches पता होना चाहिए आपको.
Yeah. So the preparation is the key, guys. Here, technical glitch can happen. Just think about the worst case scenario. Light is not there, Wi-Fi is not there, places also, sit in the places at your home, different position where you get the proper internet, so that even if the Wi-Fi is not working, you are there. And talking about the process that happens is, you get a link to join the meet. So then you get there, and there is this person who is be connecting with you,
Okay.
and it's a general kind of platform, general
Supervising
meeting.
there must-
Yes,
there is
yes,
the
yes,
one
there would be a
person.
person. Yeah. General room, first is general room, then they would take you to the breakout room. It happened with me. I think I almost waited for an hour and a half, and in that you tend to lose temper. Oh, my turn would come or not. So patience is very, very important key. You need to be patient. And
What was
wait,
your
wait.
timing for the interview?
Timing in terms of?
You must have got a slot, no? This is the slot for you. I mean, for your interview.
Yeah. It was afternoon. And after lunch we all know that what happens. So I mean, in that process, around 2 p.m. was my interview scheduled, and I joined almost 20 minutes back, and then I waited. I think it concluded. It started around 4 p.m. almost 4 p.m.
4 p.m.
Yes.
Around you logged in by
I think-
1:30.
Yeah, almost.
I'm guessing 1:30.
No, yeah, you're right.
2 was the timing.
Yes.
Half an hour buffer you took, and 4 o'clock. 2.5 hours.
3:30 to 4 in between that
2
started.
hours buffer.
Yeah, kind of thing.
So 2 hours you have to
Many
wait.
candidates before me.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the reason.
Okay. So you must be panic, no? यार मेरा 2 बजे का टाइम था, अभी तक आया नहीं. Then you must be calling to someone.
Yeah.
Was there the scenario?
No. Before that, the campus people reach out to you.
Oh, okay.
So this process, they make sure that you won't panic. So they would tell you initially that even if you have to wait for like hours, don't panic. It's all in process.
How they reach out to you? By call?
Through a call. Yeah, and the WhatsApp also at times.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fine. I want to understand complete process so that all the aspirants should not face this problem.
Yeah.
So it was not a glitch, but maybe there was some mismanagement. Before that, as he waited for 2.5 hours, I waited for 5 hours.
Huh?
So a pro tip I would like to give here is a small tip that once the merit list comes out for the PI process, what you can do is the ARC, the Aspirant Relations and Branding Committee, would form the groups for the preparation process. What you can do is connect with different people, and once they are done with the interview, connect with them and ask for their experiences, collect the question, make a questionnaire out of it, your own questionnaire, and prepare on those questions as well. While I was doing this, I also made sure that whatever process is happening, I'm asking them what is the general panel, and then what different rooms they are sending us to, breakout rooms, and that helped me very well, that the process that happened with them already. So one trend we noticed that the earlier you are joining, the earlier you get the slot. So I was the first person to join in the general room.
Okay.
And there was some mismanagement, and I was the first person to be interviewed, and I was sent to the wrong panel.
Oh.
And that is why my interview was taken at the last, as I told you guys.
So
I had
this
to
can
wait for-
happen.
Yes, this can happen, and I had to wait for 5 hours, and it was that was the longest 5 hours of my life. So make sure that you are connected with the other aspirants as well who are also preparing for the PI.
Those 5 hours, what you have actually done?
So as I told
Because
you,
idly यार बोर हो जाते हैं या demotivate हो गया या तो फिर morale down हो गया या तो फिर अभी क्या करना है. I mean we get lost, right? So what happened in your scenario?
So as I told you, I'm a spiritual guy, so I meditated for like 2-3 hours.
Those who are not spiritual.
What you can do is you can again like play games on your phone. That's all you could do. Just keep yourself distracted from the tension or stress that you might get in. Yes, maybe one of the reasons, maybe again I would say, I got like 2 hours to sit silent with myself. That reduced my stress levels and tension, which made me think clearer in the interview. So might be one of the reasons.
Okay. During interview, was any internet connection issue, or if this thing happened, what one should do? What it happened with anyone?
So the Aspirant Relation Committee he would be better.
Okay.
Yeah, so one of the best things about TISS and the TISS process is, suppose it happens on Zoom, right? And for a lot of other colleges, there's just a white screen, and you will never know when you're let in. For the TISS process, at least, you know there's a person on the other side of the screen. So there's always someone from the admin who's coordinating, who's renaming you, who's confirming that you are the person that you are. So there's always a person on the screen. So suppose many people in my panel had internet issues when they were in the breakout room.
Okay.
They left. They had to rejoin. they reconfirmed their identity as persons, they were renamed again and they were done again. So I think this is one of these aspects about TISS, that admin team is always there, always smiling, always ready to help, because it's a pressure time for aspirants and they get it.
Okay.
So they use that. We've always been there for help as well. And as you mentioned, one day before your interview, you'll get a call from the admin that tomorrow is an interview. You'd just like to confirm. Some people even got calls on the day of the interview when they did not turn up for their interview, or they had delays. They got the call on the day of the interview itself.
Okay.
No other colleges, in my opinion, does that.
So they rescheduled the interview.
So no, they asked about why they did not attend or something. They might have had their personal reasons to not attend.
Okay.
So they check in all the time. They always check in. As a member of the Aspirants Relation and Branding Committee as well, we have support groups. We have members who reach out. So people in this panel as well will be taking mock interviews in the days to come. So you aspirants will find themselves interviewing, mock interviewing, giving them interviews as well. So, and they're always there to help. We know people from the admin, we know people whom to reach out. So we're always there as seniors. So aspirants, don't worry, just focus on the process, the technical aspects, the other aspects, the things you can't control, the uncontrollables, let it remain. We'll try to control what we can. Yeah.
Nice. And in general room, number of people comes around, 20, 10, 15, how many people? General room, then there is a breakdown room.
Yeah.
So in
there's a
room-
general room. So a general room is just for formation of breakout rooms, right? So my breakout room had 40 people in total, which were given to multiple panels.
Okay.
So in my panel, because I was the first to go in, there were only 4 or 5 people there. So I had my interview as the first fresh morning batch, had my first interview and I left. So because it depends on when you're let in, you'll never know what number of you're in the panel, but it's always very peaceful because they don't overburden the interviewee, the panel. There are a reasonable number of people which are to be done in a reasonable amount of time, because our interviews are very extensive, they're very long, so there are not a lot of people who are interviewed at the same time.
Okay. Obviously 30-35 minutes, if 6 hours it is approximately 10-12 people, not more than that. So CAT result will out by next week, I think 3rd week of December, and then GDPI, interview round process will start TISS on TISS official website, and the first day is the registration process will start. You have to register, you have already registered, and after then they will open, based on the courses preference list and all, and whatever marks percentile you have got, basis on that shortlisting list will come out, and after then you have to participate in the interview round. Okay, so we have also started the interview process and interview training. Okay, from I think end of December se start ho raha hai. Okay, so those who want to apply for it, you can apply. Next question I want to ask, HRM program, how it is different from other colleges? Like how different it is from the XLR Jamshedpur, JBI, MHRD obviously, and the other IIMs and the top IIMs jahan se HRM people do.
Yeah, I think the biggest differential that I would say is the fieldwork internships and the exposure to other courses.
Okay.
Since it's not like a B school, typical B school, it's a social sciences college. So you really have to think from a lot of perspectives. You really get the opportunity to interact with a lot of different people doing different things in life. You actually understand diversity as a concept, and as you mingle around with people, you actually understand what their perspectives about life is. Whereas in a B school, it is somehow restricted to a particular fields. Here, you can get exposure to a lot of things.
We got the one more aspirant here. He's for the CAT. The aspirant. Okay, nice.
Yeah. So in Zest, the fieldwork also is one of the biggest USP, considering we get exposure to 4 different organizations in each on one month each. So that really gives you the taste of different organizations, whether it could be an FMCG organization or manufacturing organization or BFSI. It could give you the exposure to different types of organizations as well, which I don't think anyone in this particular in India can give you. So I think that is the biggest differential, but if someone has any other point, you can add.
one additional feature which I have seen, because I have studied the curriculum before applying for TISS. So one thing that I witnessed is foundation course of this course. In foundation course, one thing is our foundation course happens in TISS Convention Center. So all the schools students actually accumulate there and undergo the foundation course. This is the one thing.
Okay.
And because the other courses we happen in our classrooms, but
Okay.
foundation course happens in TISS Convention Center.
Okay.
So we need to get acknowledge many diverse people, their knowledge and even their aspects also, how they see life, how they see the different aspect of the same subject. Like we analyze it from the management point of view.
So all the courses people come into the under one roof.
Yes.
Okay.
And so this is I think this is one important thing, which one thing it develops is camaraderie, and second thing is unity among different schools of TISS. That we have HRM course, we have disaster management, we have a school of social sciences, social work, and each, like I give you an example, like one thing is flood is there. Now as management person will analyze it through different angle, that we have to manage flood in a particular organization, how the flood of opinions.
Wow.
And a particular disaster management will analyze it in terms of his own subject, like they have to undergo flood management through crisis, through conflict management. A person who is in social work organized through different angles. So like these different opinions we get in the foundation course.
Okay.
And that foundation course bears much value because we have lot of credits attached to that foundation course. This is basic. This is why you just need to concentrate on your own subject, but at the same time there are different aspects also.
Nice.
And this is not only limited to first semester. In second semester also we have elective courses which are related to CBCS.
Okay.
So in that we have range of subjects, from mental health, from spirituality, and at the same time from microfinance also we have. So all these things, and even one course is there, PIDP, which is personality development course.
Okay.
So this sort of variety you get only in one institute, that is TISS.
Nice. So why you should join TISS? I think answer is there. Yeah. You want to add?
One part is missing, that is called dissertation. So in that, the research aspect. So as a part of your learning, the TISS is research driven. That your research start, you need to choose a topic in the second semester and it goes till the final semester. For the freshers especially, you understand 4 months in the industry for the field work, 1 NGO, 1 more month, 2 months summer internship, 7 months out of 24 months except the leaves and all, you are majorly spending your time in the corporate, in the work, actual ground. So you won't be a fresher anymore. You would be a professional by the end of it. So that I think the best aspect of the TISS is.
So last question, guys, and we'll wind up the session. Okay. Share some placement figures. Already 25 lakhs plus ka average figure at TISS ka. So it is there. There is no stats coming up on the TISS official website, but I think there is a LinkedIn and there is a Instagram is there. That is what we follow. So average, median, highest. What is any?
Right, sir.
Yeah.
So
not from Placecom.
No, sir. So the Aspirants Relations and Branding Committee,
Okay.
which coordinated with Manoeuvre for this session. We have people from all committees here.
Okay.
So, sir, as far as placements are concerned, TISS HRM-LR has always put out its official figures on a lot of public mediums. We have our own LinkedIn accounts we put out. We have collaborations with Inside IM. We put out our placement figures. So aspirants can go and check it out. I think we boast of one of the best ROI colleges in the country.
Okay.
We'll just put out some figures out just to quell about the placement figures. So we have highest at 49 LPA.
Okay.
And we have the median at 26-ish LPA. So
Okay.
these are the figures. As you mentioned, the mean figure was around that amount.
Okay.
So these are the figures. We've always had a very stellar track record when it comes to placements, and one of the best recruiters in the country when it comes to placements in our colleges.
What are the top recruiters recently came for the recruitment?
Sir, because all of this information is available on our LinkedIn, so we'll not be divulging that. But we have from BFSI, we have FMCGs, we have even consulting companies that come to
from
hire.
all the sectors.
Yeah, from all the sectors. So yeah.
Okay. So that's all, guys, in this podcast. I think the session is more than 1 hour. Watch it and enjoy the session. मुझे तो बहुत मजा आया and still I have many questions. So we'll stop the session here and share this video to all your friends, all the aspirants, those who want to come into the TISS, because right from preparation strategy to selection process, what are the obstacles come across, who should apply for TISS, everything we have discussed in this video. And I'm sure you must be liking the video, and share the video, like the video, and subscribe the channel. All the best, everyone.
Yeah. So sir has thanked everyone except himself. So we thank Manoeuvre, and we thank Dev sir, we thank Prachi ma'am behind
You're
the
welcome,
camera to coordinate this entire session. Coming to campus within the Mumbai traffic, coordinating.
No, not from Mumbai. Yesterday I came from Pune.
Yes,
So
sir.
Pune से अभी मेरी नींद नहीं हुई है, अभी मैं आज इधर हूँ.
So more reasons to show gratitude to sir. Coordinating this session where we can reach out to aspirants, we can actually help them. So thank you so much, Manoeuvre Education. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am,
Welcome.
being here. Aspirants Relation Branding Committee would look forward to more such collaborations.
We can have this interview session online.
Yes.
Training session we can do. So all those who are cracking CAT, पहले percentile अच्छा लेके आ जाओ. Then stage 2 के लिए they will be there to help you.
So thank you so much, sir. Thank you for the session.
Chalo, all the best.